Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? The number one thing, if I were to break down the way that I think about people being quote unquote toxic, and if I were actually going to label it, the way that I would look at it is this person trying to manipulate and take advantage of you? Are they trying to get something around on you? Are they always trying to finagle their way into your life or around a circumstance? And are they lying, exaggerating, and are they leaving out information that is incredibly important to try to get something out of you or from you? Because if they are, then you have to pay a lot of attention to this person because that's only going to get worse. You see this a lot in narcissistic relationships. You see this a lot in abusive relationships. You see this a lot in trauma. I can go back and replay so many of these experiences of my youth, especially around my mother, and just watch the manipulation around my grandmother, watch the manipulation. And then again, speaking my truth in my teens and 20s, being that person because I thought that's how you communicated and interacted with people. And I will always be the first one to raise my hand. We talk about this a lot, and I look at life through the scope of going, yeah, if it's learned experience and behavior, it can be unlearned and it can be shifted. The dynamic and the paradigm can change. You can transform. And if you are this person, if I just read off any of this and you're like, oh shit, I'm the toxic person, again, I would ask you to be very cautious in using that word, especially with yourself. But more importantly, the thing that I would ask you is, can things be different? Because through acknowledgement, we create change, and ultimately action is the cure all. Now, what do you do if you are in relation with these people? I think you have to just get clear on a couple of things in the way that there is the back and forth interaction with toxic people. If, again, that is the word that we're going to use, I would love to see the reframing of this shift to maybe unhealed or uneducated or unheard, unseen, unloved people. But ultimately, in the context of this conversation, and thinking about what toxicity means, especially if someone's manipulative, someone's pulling you back, is to look at this and go, okay, how would I act if I were the opposite? If I were a strong person, if I were a healed person, if I were as a person who cared and loved myself, how would I interact with the world? Well, first and foremost, and I think this is number one, and this was my experience, you cannot let people hold you back. You cannot, when you are growing and you are changing your life and you are moving into being the person that you are going to be and that you are capable of being, it is incredibly important that you don't get sucked into the trap of the past.